Hi guys, today we are ranking the best Xbox One games. You can find the links of the products featuring in this video at the description below. Doom Eternal takes everything great about the 2016 Doom reboot and cranks it to 11. The game's adrenaline-pumping first-person shooting action is more dynamic and fluid than ever, thanks to a sandbox of weapons and skills that let you create a ballet of beautiful violence during every encounter. Thanks to new abilities, such as the flamethrower and all-powerful blood punch, and new platforming moves, such as the double jump and air dash, slaying demons across a demon-infested earth is a blood-soaked blast. Add in a satisfying progression system, tons of secrets and collectibles, and absolutely breathtaking visuals and level design, and Doom Eternal is one of the best shooters in years. It's a cathartic, satisfying experience, with a story that's better than it has to be, and an incredible sense of atmosphere. It's easily one of the best Xbox One games in a while. For a game focused on an outlaw gang with a propensity for violence, it's somewhat surprising that Red Dead Redemption 2 is at its best when the dust settles, and you're chatting with townsfolk, traveling by horseback, or completing one of the many missions that doesn't necessarily require violence. Rockstar's follow-up follows Arthur Morgan, a gruff but lovable man who is a member of the Van der Linde gang during the fall of the Wild West. The lavishly designed open world is breathtaking, and easily one of the most impressive from a visual standpoint on Xbox One. What makes Red Dead Redemption 2 so unique in the open world genre is the deliberateness of its gameplay, which feels more methodical and slow-paced than most comparable titles. From an animation and sound design point, Red Dead Redemption 2 has few peers, and the smooth transitions between cutscenes and gameplay give it a cinematic feel. Filled with wonderful writing and well-drawn characters, the lengthy solo campaign is a thrilling ride. Red Dead Online adds to the experience by offering live service multiplayer with cooperative missions and competitive game modes. While Devil May Cry 5 doesn't bring a ton new to the table, it still manages to feel incredibly fresh and nostalgic in the same breath. Open-world action games have shoved level-based linear action games to the side over the past decade, so Devil May Cry 5's rigid dedication to old ways stands out. There's a level of focus to Devil May Cry 5, which constantly thrusts you in the center of the action, that makes it constantly exciting. With 3 playable characters, Devil May Cry 5 offers a lot of variety when it comes to combat. It features one of the most elaborate combo systems in the modern action game genre, and it only gets better the more you experiment. The thing about Sunset Overdrive is that, even before it landed, it seemed exciting. This hardware generation got off to a bit of a bad start. It was all about mega games, games as services, and yet Sunset Overdrive, with its dumb jokes, its bright colors, its explosions that spelled out the word boom and fireballs, seemed like the best of the PS2 era, a knockabout action game that was emphatically not for everyone. In the hands, Sunset Overdrive is a total delight, quickfire gags piling on top of one of the most beautifully empowering control systems in years as you rail grind, bounce, and air dash your way across a personable open world, compact enough to be ownable, bright enough to make exploring a delight. The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt set a new high watermark for open-world RPGs when it released in 2015. The narrative bones were always there, but previous games in the series had clunky combat. The Witcher 3 rectifies this, creating an engrossing fantasy adventure that balances story with gameplay for a wholly enjoyable experience. Brimming with great writing and world-building, Wild Hunt tells a carefully crafted story that keeps you invested throughout its lengthy runtime. Geralt of Rivia is one of the most memorable protagonists in the genre, and the supporting cast, even minor characters you meet during optional quests, draw you further into the sweeping story. We'd recommend snagging the Game of the Year edition, as it comes with both of the wonderful post-launch expansions. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice takes cues from the massively popular Dark Souls series in terms of difficulty, but the combat is entirely different. Set in the Sengoku period in Japan, you play as a shinobi named Wolf working to restore balance after a successful coup. Sekiro is a highly demanding experience that focuses on blocks and parries. In order to defeat enemies, you have to deflect attacks and spar until they become unbalanced. It's an intriguing combat system that really forces you to put yourself in danger at all times. This is on display best during each of Sekiro's daunting boss fights. Though you do acquire some upgrades throughout, Sekiro is mainly a sword fighting game that requires you to master your skills, and it's top of its class in this regard. While exploring the richly drawn world, you're encouraged to be stealthy, which helps give you the upper hand in combat. Sekiro is a different kind of beast, but From Software's iconic style is baked into its DNA to create one of the most technically sound and unique action games around. Arriving at a time when Gears, Halo, Forza seemed to be the beginning, middle and end of Microsoft's publishing plans, Ori and the Blind Forest was a triumph. It's a confident mash of the pixel-perfect platforming popularized by Super Meat Boy, and the rich, unfolding worlds of Metroidvania games. You'll die hundreds of times exploring the titular forest, unlocking skills that allow you to reach new areas. It looks and sounds great, and its story, while fairly secondary to the experience, is interesting. Ori might not do much to push the boundaries of its genres, but everything it does so right. Its sequel, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, is very much more of everything, so if you like Blind Forest, it's well worth checking out too. Gears 5 may have dropped the phrase of war from its title, but it's a much more varied third-person shooter than its predecessors. The campaign, which centers on Kate Diaz, follows the traditional act structure since the series' inception, but the levels are far more open, encouraging you to make use of new abilities and weapons. The duck and cover gunplay feels familiar, though that's not really a bad thing since Gears has always felt great in motion. The online multiplayer is also refined thanks to new in-depth progression systems and a variety of modes, including a fun co-op variant to go alongside Horde. Gears 5 is one of the best Xbox console exclusives, and it's available to play for free if you're a Game Pass subscriber. Even if the Forza Horizon is technically a spin-off series, it has evolved over the years to become arguably even more impressive than the mainline Forza series. Forza Horizon 4 takes the open-world racing series to new heights. The beauty of Forza Horizon 4 is that it artfully blends arcade racing with realism, making the experience both approachable and layered. The gorgeous locale based on Great Britain is chock full of activities, each of which can feel different depending on the current weather. With a huge stable of vehicles, a wealth of content, whether you play solo or in the well-designed online mode, and a bevy of customization options, Forza Horizon 4 is pure bliss for racing fans. Remedy Entertainment's Control further cemented the studio's status as one of the most inventive developers of modern action games. Like the studio's previous games, Control works hard to provide exciting action gameplay that feeds into a rich story full of twists and turns. In Control, you play as Jesse Faden, the new director of the Federal Bureau of Control, a government agency that investigates paranormal phenomena. Control's winding story is riveting to watch play out thanks to clever world building and believable characters. The powers Jessie gains throughout her journey are equally mesmerizing, and lead to some of the most stylish action sequences and puzzles we've seen in a AAA game. Expertly paced, exploration through the FBC's headquarters feels much like a Metroidvania, with areas gated off until you acquire new abilities. The pair of post-launch expansions add to the story, and fans of Alan Wake definitely won't want to miss out on them. Thank you for watching so far, and we hope you enjoyed our video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more reviews. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time.